Hey, wagwan. So cringe. Hey, my name is Fassil and welcome back to another episode of Fassil Eats the World. Today we'll be taking a trip down to the Caribbean to visit the small island nation of Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda is a small island nation located in the eastern portion of the Caribbean Sea. It consists of many islands, but the two main ones are its namesake, Antigua and Barbuda. The cuisine of these islands, like many other Caribbean nations, have a variety of influences, including European, African, and of course flavors indigenous to the island. So, today we will be making the national dish of Antigua and Barbuda, which is Fungee and Pepperpot. Fungee is a cornmeal dish, which kind of reminds me of spoonful, and then pepperpot's like a meat stew. And so, with the introduction out of the way, it's time to start cooking. So we're gonna start by soaking some pigeon peas overnight, in this case black-eyed peas, and then draining them. Once drained, we're gonna put them in a saucepan. We're gonna fill this up with enough water to cover. We're gonna set this to high. Once that's been brought to a boil, you're gonna wanna lower the heat and let it simmer for an hour. Now you can remove it from the heat. Corned beef. Come on. Hey, okay, so I just have to say straight up that this, looks like dog food, and it smells like dog food, and, UK, England, Ireland, Scotland, I don't know where this came from, but what was going on? What was going on? Tell me, how... It smells good, though, in a weird way. It does smell like... It smells like good dog food. Is that weird to say? I think it's weird to say. We're gonna cut this into cubes. The recipe is kind of vague on the size of the cubes, so I hope this is big enough. Also, what's gonna stop this from just turning into a mash in the cooking process? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. We'll see how this turns out. And then let me know if there's an extra step that I'm missing, to firm this up. Do I cook it separately? We'll see. 1 ham hock. This is actually a ham shank though. I couldn't find ham hock, so I mean, it's the same part of the, well, not the same part of the pig, it's part of the leg. Oh my goodness! It came pre-cut! Whoa! So the recipe calls for cutting it crosswise, which, since there's a bone in the middle, I'm gonna assume... Wait, can you cut the bone? No, you can't cut the bone. Yeah, so I'm gonna assume it means this way. I can't believe I said, can you cut the bone? What was I thinking? Facil. Half an onion. You're gonna wanna cut off the end, peel it, and then chop it up into little pieces. 2 scallions. This might be a dumb question, but does this count as technically 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Or is it 2 because there's 2 roots? Because the recipe calls for 2, not 5. Let me know down in the comments. I'm just gonna go ahead and use all of it, but let me know if I messed up. I always just use scissors to cut these guys up. Alright, we're almost there. Just a couple more. I always hear that the nutrients are always at the stem, so try and get down to the very last bit. That's what I've always heard. Let me know if that's true. 2 garlic cloves. Smash, peel, and mince. Mince. 1 hot pepper. The recipe, like last week, calls for Scotch bonnet. I can't find Scotch bonnets for the life of me. Then again, I haven't really tried a Caribbean market. Down in the comments below, please let me know where I should be going to find these Scotch bonnets. This is a habanero. I'm always just gonna use habanero as a substitute when I can't find Scotch bonnets. Mince. Chives. Go ahead and give these guys a quick chop. Nothing fancy, at least the recipe just says chop it, so that, I haven't worked with chives before, so I don't know. Are these an herb? I mean, I found them in the herb section, so I assume these are an herb. Okay, I like that. Again, I'm not a cook, okay? I cook food, but that doesn't make me a cook. I don't know what I'm doing. Eggplant. That we'll use half of. Cut it in half. Even after sharpening, Still struggling, but that's okay because there we go. I've never worked with eggplant before, and like the inside's actually really pretty. That's not what I was expecting the inside to look like. I've never had eggplant. Maybe I have and I just didn't know it, but yeah, it's a nice looking fruit, vegetable. I don't know. So I'm gonna cut off this end here. Yeah! Our kitchen hack number 1, cut the soft side first. And then cut it into 1-inch thick pieces. I'm pretty sure this is way smaller than an inch. Or is it an inch? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've taken centimeters, inches, millimeters. 3rd grade math, essentially. Or 2nd grade, or whatever grade you learn this in. 1 squash that we'll be using only half a pound of. And this is like 3 pounds. Yeah. The recipe calls for an acorn or a Calabasas squash, and when I went to the market, they didn't have that. I don't remember what the name of the squash is. If you recognize what this is, let me know down in the comments below. Look for acorn or Calabasas squash, and if you can't get that, then just type in best substitute, and this is what will pop up. So we're gonna want to peel it. Now once you peeled it, you're gonna want to seed it. I'm just gonna use a spoon and seed it. Kind of reminds me of Halloween a little bit, to be honest. Go like this. Actually, I don't know how I want to cut this. Dude, I need to get a better knife. Like, what do you guys think? Oh! Whoops! Okay, now that we have recovered, cut this guy into bite-sized pieces. So I have a question. Like, do you see this? Like, did I peel this enough, or should I have peeled it more? Like, is this like greenish section edible right here? Hopefully I don't get food poisoning. Yam! That we will use a 1/4 pound of. So the recipe called for white yam, and this is like the one place where it was very specific, like emphasized the point of white yam, but I couldn't find any, so I just got regular yams. Again, let me know like in the future where I can go to get like specialty items like white yams and stuff. I'm guessing like Caribbean markets, but I've never actually seen a Caribbean market. Or at least where I live in the Pacific Northwest. So we're gonna start by peeling this guy. And then again, we're gonna cut into 1-inch pieces. Right, just like that. Okay. 1 more piece. Okay. Spinach. So you're gonna wanna destem the spinach. And you're gonna wanna thoroughly wash these guys. Like, thoroughly. I've already found some like dirt and stuff. Okay, now we're gonna give these guys a rough chop. Just start chopping. This seems about good, I think. I always say that and then I continue to cut. I don't know why. Okay, I'm done. That's good. That's good. In a large saucepan, set your heat to high and then throw in your ham hock or ham shank, your corned beef, and water. A lot more water than that. I see why they wanted me to cut this in half all the way, but we're just gonna keep on adding water. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna let this boil or cook for about an hour to an hour and a half until the meat's tenderized. So after an hour and a half, you're gonna go ahead and drain all the liquid, but you're gonna wanna save it too, so separate the liquid from the meat, but save the liquid. So you're gonna wanna remove the bone from the ham shank and then cut it coarsely. We're gonna set our stove to medium heat, and we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Now we're gonna throw in our onions, our garlic, our chili peppers, and our scallions. Go ahead and just give this a good stir. You're gonna wanna cook this for about 4 minutes or until the onions are nice and soft. Okay, so next we're gonna throw in our canned tomatoes, about 7 ounces. You're gonna wanna break them up. You're also gonna wanna throw in 1/8 of a cup of tomato paste, your chives, and then a teaspoon of dried thyme. The recipe calls for adding the meat liquid later, but I'm gonna just go ahead and throw it in now. Or at least a little bit. We're gonna let that simmer for 10 minutes. Now we're gonna throw in our yams, eggplant, and squash. And then go ahead and give that a stir. And we're gonna let that cook for a little bit. Next, throw in your corned beef. Throw in your ham shank. And some of that meat liquid. And you're gonna wanna bring this to a boil on high. Now we're gonna throw in our black-eyed peas. Pigeon peas if you can get them. And spinach. And you're gonna wanna stir that in. And then let this cook for another about 5 minutes, and then while this cooks, I'm gonna start making the fungee. Okra. So you're gonna wanna cut off the top parts here, and then go lengthwise. And then just give them a good chop. For the fungee, we're gonna need 1 cup of cornmeal. You're gonna want to slowly pour in water until it makes a paste. Now, I don't know what the right consistency is gonna be, so I'm just winging it. I think this is good enough for a paste. Looks good to me at least. But we're gonna be adding more water in later anyway, so we'll just go with this for now. 2 cups of water. Now that it's boiling, we're gonna add the okra, as well as some salt. Throw in your cornmeal paste. And then you're gonna wanna stir this constantly stirring, constantly keep it moving. You don't wanna let it get stiff. So then go ahead and reduce the heat and keep stirring, like so. And then you're gonna wanna add water as you go. You're gonna be doing this for about 20 to 30 minutes, so just keep an eye on it, keep stirring, keep adding water as it thickens. And after, like I said, 20 to 30 minutes, the cornmeal should be fully cooked. So go ahead and then lower the heat, and then continue to stir for another 5 minutes. And press against the sides to like clear lumps. Again, I don't know what the finish. I mean, I've seen a picture. This doesn't really resemble the pictures I've seen online, so hopefully this turns out right. So this looks about good. So we're going to put this in a bowl, like so, that I've lined with butter and some olive oil, and then we're gonna make a ball, like that. So now, without further ado, it's time to plate. So we're gonna take our fungee, and just like that, we're gonna put it on a plate. And this looks just like gunfo, man. I'm telling you, I don't think gunfo is made with corn flour or cornmeal. And then we're gonna scoop some pepperpot. Doesn't that look good? Look at this. Fungee with pepperpot from Antigua and Barbuda. Looks very good. I can't wait to dig in. Alright, I've been cooking all day. This is like a long recipe, so just so you guys know, like it's a long process, so it's gonna take a while. Be prepared for that, but finally it's time to dig in. I can't wait. So I'm gonna just try the pepper pot by itself first. Okay, I can do that. Especially since it's raining right now. It's the Pacific Northwest, early spring, like nice hearty comfort food. I can already tell you that. And now just the fungee by itself. Okay. I'm digging that. It definitely does taste like gunfo. I'm telling you right now, this tastes like Ethiopian gunfo. Okay, and now together some of the fungee. Okay, ready? The squash, the eggplant, the chickpeas, the tomato, the onions, the ham hock, or the ham shank, I should say, which is the first for me.
And the Fungee. Oh, it's also good. I love it. And I think the Fungee came out right in the end. It definitely resembles what the pictures look like. So you just gotta let it not sit, but like once you turn off the heat, it definitely starts to look more like the pictures. So just give it some time. Don't worry about it not looking like what it looks like in the pictures. Overall, this dish is 10 out of 10. Loved it. Loved every bite. Loved every ingredient. It's a little time consuming, I will say that. So make sure you plan ahead for sure with this recipe. But definitely, again, delicious. Please send me your recipes, okay? Desserts, drinks, entrees, breakfast, lunch, dinner, I don't care. Just send them to me and I want to make them all. Please like, share, and subscribe like always, and leave a comment down below about what I did right, what I did wrong, and I'm pronouncing these words correctly or incorrectly. Until next time, I'm Fassil, and this has been Fassil Eats the World. Peace.